Hello, and welcome back to the Nascent Fairy World. This is the second of two instructions on how to create a fairy dwelling, the Nascent Fairy World dwelling. And this is the second video, and we've already constructed this structure up here. And now we are ready to paint it. Now this is what it looks like after it's painted. So, just to review, it had a balcony. Some of the features we made a loft, and on the other side of this tower is a fairy walkway. So let's get started. But before we do, if you do have any questions, this video will be in PDF form, and you can download it on the nascentfairy.com. And if you get stuck and you really would like some guidance on it, you can email me at calendarstick54@gmail.com. And that is calendarstick54@gmail.com. So let's look at the materials you're going to need. You're going to need some acrylic paint, and again, just a review of what we asked you to pick up at your hobby store with some brown paint, red, green, yellow, and orange. Blending all these colors is probably the most important thing that is going to be your takeaway from this video. You're also going to need some good paint brushes, 2 inches and a 1 inch brush, some good Mod Podge, a lot of plenty of moss, a glue gun, and some glue sticks. And again, we were talking about how the tower became a balcony, and this is what it looks like with the moss. And again, here's a look at some of the blending that we're going to be doing and how the window has already been inserted. And you might have, like right here on top of here, I noticed that there was a little damage to this window, so I covered it up with some moss. And you just make it look like vines are all around it. And again, can you see this tree right here that we're looking at? The whole point is to get these tones inside of the paper mache, which we have done. If you can look right up here, that's what happens when you do the blending. I'm going to repeat this word, blended, 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 all the way through, because when after we put our dark colors down, it's the yellow, a thinned out yellow over it that's going to blend all these colors and make them look nice. So, doesn't look good when you begin with it, but paint your complete dwelling this brown color. The darker the brown, the more vibrant it's going to be. So that's up to you. Here I've used a phthalo green, and I've used an orange and red colors. So the first color you're going to put down is the brown. The next color is going to be green, and then we're getting lighter in the color spectrum. And then I did a red, and then I put some orange on there. And you can see as I put some of the orange on top of the red, it turned a little bit brighter orange. So first paint the first layer of the dwelling with 1 coat of brown paint for your base color. For the contouring colors, also use a little bit of paint. Your strokes need to be dry and wispy. You're not dumping it on, you're not covering the whole base. You're actually adding accents. And then in this order, add your additional colors. First put down the green on top of the brown, then the red, then the orange. And if you want to, you could also put a light apple green. And here's some of the apple green up here, right above the red. I wanted you to see the difference. Hope you can see that a little bit. You can put apple green, which is a lighter apple green, on top of all these. Once again, here's some wispy red inside the dwelling. Here's the balcony. And this is an example of what it can look like after it. I don't think this is fully dried yet. I think this is after I put the Mod Podge on. But I wanted you to see, you're looking inside the window on side 1 right here. This is the front. And here's a close-up of the red. And remember, these strokes are all going to get blended away. And I don't know if you can see the balcony right here, but the balcony has already been blended. And it has kind of an apple green color. So after, this is before and this is after. You get that apple green color, which is this apple green color down here. This is the apple green color down here. Okay. Now this is after I've done the Mod Podge, and you can see the Mod Podge, I put quite a bit on there. And it has been blended in this picture because it's still wet. You can see it's beginning to turn the apple green right here. It's really important to achieve a blended texture tone once you begin painting. So you continue the yellow blending stage as colors will be wet and blend together. The Mod Podge is going to preserve these colors. This is the back view. Top, front, loft, balcony, and this now you can be seeing how the structure actually has a walkway, and that is side 2's window. So we're letting the Mod Podge dry, and you can see how it's beginning to get that light green color right here. This is when it's wet. This is the same side when it's dry. You can see it almost takes on like a stone texture. And it's really up to you what you would like to do. But again, I'm trying to achieve this light green color right here, and that's what I've done. Some of the colors are going to shine through as your yellow wispy strokes do not cover everything entirely, and you don't want them to. The whole point is blending. So with a glue gun at this point, you've already begun to install your windows here. And with the window installed, you cover any flaws that you might have. No matter what a good paper mache, or sometimes that second layer of paper mache, it just kind of it dries the way, not the way you want it to. So the moss is a big help for hiding those flaws. Alrighty, remember those those red strokes that we had in the floor of the front? Well, now they've been blended and you're getting nice green color. And here's that apple green color I was talking about. So you want those green tones to come through with orange and red accents, and they create a depth. Also, after the Mod Podge dries, you can then apply the boss around these the window structures in the inside and the outside. It's really beginning to look like something now. And there's a vine in the front. You can still see some of those reddish orange colors, but we've blended them together to get this apple green color. Again, the more moss you put on there is really up to you. I went to Joann's, or it was at Michael's, and with my 50% coupon, I think it was a large $13 bag, which is, I only used about 1/4 of it for this dwelling. But make it very thinned out, so you want it to look very real and everything. And here is the balcony, the window, the walkway, and inside here would be the loft. Okay. Here are some more pictures about how I applied the moss to the tree roots to kind of soften the tree a bit. You can see right up here, this is side 2. This is the back. This is the other side of where the walkway is, or the balcony is. And again, if you want to look inside here, you can see some of the colors. They look kind of rock-like in some ways, but you can see it depends on what you want to do. If you completely covered up all this green, it would be like an apple green. You can see how it turned apple green down here. I actually colored some of these green colors. Here we've left some of them open for you to see. It's really up to you and how you want to soften up the trunk. Now, in the back, you can see right here how it's turned much lighter, and I've put this in the full sun so you can see how the shadows fall. And maybe I was hoping that the apple green color would come out best. This is a window inside looking through. Now, remember that the moss that you're putting on here is very fine. So when you put it with your glue gun, press it down the best that you can, but you're still going to have stuff that breaks off. This is just the way it is. This is, the texture it is, and that's what you want. You want that very airy, live texture. And this will hold its color. And one thing that you can do if you really want to secure it in place is you can spray it with polyurethane or use a hairspray. If you have any questions, you can reach me at nasingfairy.com. I've also left my email at calendarstick54@gmail.com if you have questions or you get stuck somewhere. And again, go to the first video to see how it looks like before we started painting. I think that will help you, and you can see the difference in textures. So I hope you really enjoy yourself, and I hope the painting is just like fun, like coloring a book. And remember, the most important takeaway is I want you to remember to blend, blend, blend. And you can experiment. You can always, if you find that you don't like the way it looks, you can paint it brown again, come back, and work with those colors and blending again. So this is Mary Kathleen Wilson. I'm Kathy, and I'm signing off for now. And welcome again to the Nasing Fairy world. You can always go to nasingfairy.com for more ideas, and you can even purchase some fairies from me. And all that information is at nasingfairy.com. So have a great time and enjoy yourself.